Imagine standing at the peak of your ambitions, the zenith of your potential. Imagine that feeling of invincibility when you shatter the glass ceiling of what you once thought was possible. This moment is yours for the taking, but it's not reserved for those who simply dream. It's carved out for the doers, the movers, the shakers. Today, we dive into the playbook of personal triumph, the art of pushing beyond the limits, where comfort ends and growth begins. Prepare to crank up your drive to the highest gear and transform the person staring back at you in the mirror. You know the saying, the early bird catches the worm. But it's not just about waking up early, it's about what you do with that time. How you forge every second to sculpt a life that's worth living. Be the bird that not only catches the worm but builds the greatest nest high above the others. Picture this. Your life is a canvas and your actions as strokes of paint. Will you color it with boldness or leave it bland with inaction? It's time to ask yourself, when was the last time you embraced the fire of discomfort, nudged the borders of your comfort zone just to see what lies beyond? If you haven't, then you've yet to taste the spice of real progress. It's in the forge of adversity that the steel of your resolve is tested, and believe me, you want to see what alloy you're truly made of. Growth doesn't come in comfort. It grows out of sweat, grit, and the willingness to trudge through the murky waters of fear. How many mornings have you woken up with a jolt of inspiration, only to be swallowed by the quicksand of complacency? Remember, your aspirations aren't worth a dime if they aren't backed by the currency of action. Aspirations without action are like an engine without fuel, useless. Break free from the merry-go-round of tomorrow, later, someday. Strike the word wait from your vocabulary because the clock is ticking, and it waits for no man. For those sitting on ambitions like a hen on eggs, waiting for them to hatch without effort, you're in for a rude awakening. Life isn't a fairy tale where dreams are handed on a silver platter. You've got to step up to the plate, swing, and be ready to run every base of hardship because at the end, the score counts only the runs, not the swings. Don't just cruise through life on autopilot. Seize the steering wheel with both hands and drive like you're in the grandest race of your life. Because you are. Every dream, every goal, every aspiration is your opponent, and they're not slowing down. In fact, they're gaining speed, and the only way to outpace them is to hit the gas pedal of persistence. You've probably seen the peaks of your potential, your proverbial Mount Everest. Now, are you going to admire it from a distance, or are you going to start climbing? Success isn't located in the valley of what ifs and maybe someday. It's perched at the summit of I will and watch me. Stepping out of your comfort zone is like learning to breathe underwater. It's uncomfortable at first, but once you learn how, a whole new world unfolds. This is the realm of growth, the domain of the resilient. So, unshackle yourself from the cozy confines of the known. Dive headfirst into the abyss of the new and the uncertain. That's where growth likes to hang out. Now's the time to ask the mirror, what are we achieving today? Are you ready to trade a moment of bravery for a lifetime of pride? Or will you succumb to the cold hands of fear that long to choke your dreams? Break the shackles of doubt and let the wings of courage lift you towards the skies of extraordinary achievements. You may have an idea of where you want to be, but understanding is not enough. You must walk the thorny path to get there. The rose garden of success is past the thorns of trials and sacrifices. Knowing and accepting this are your tickets out of mediocrity's waiting room. Think about those who've moved mountains, who've made the impossible possible. They embraced the suck. They squared up to adversity and saw it as an opportunity to become Herculean in their endeavors. They were resourceful, resilient, relentless. These champions of ambition weren't born with an extra gene for greatness, they simply refused to bow to the tyranny of fear. If you're sitting comfortably, then you're in the wrong seat. Success is not a cushioned chair, it's a bench press with the weights of persistence and hard work. Get ready to lift and grow. And grow you will, even when your arms shake and your body screams for respite. Remember, the body achieves what the mind believes. Are you willing to work for your aspirations like your life depends on it? Because, in a way, it does. Your ideal life, the embodiment of your dreams, hinges on the sweat of your brow and the resolve in your heart. Think less about the mountain you're facing and more about the steps you're taking. Every step up is a step away from where you were, and a step towards where you're meant to be. It's about looking at the summit and saying, here I come. Consider this: if you're not consistently pushing yourself, how do you expect to level up in life? The game of life doesn't come with cheat codes or shortcuts. It rewards those who play by the rules of tenacity. Every day presents an opportunity to push your boundaries. Will you take it? Or will the day pass by, unnoticed and unclaimed? My friend, this is no ordinary day, for today is the day you subscribe, like and ring that notification bell to gear up for a cascade of success. Do this, and you'll embolden yourself with strategies and wisdom to make your dreams an undeniable reality. Remember, activating these signals of intent is your step towards making the life you envision a life you live. In closing, what from today's arsenal of insights will you bring to life's battlefield? How will these shared wisdoms fortify your journey? Remember, action is the soldier of thought. Deploy it wisely, and victory will be yours. Now, carpe diem, seize the day, seize your life, and may your actions speak louder than any words could ever do. Imagine waking up every morning to a world where your first action sets the tone for success or mediocrity. Welcome, ambitious souls, to a conversation where we dive deep into the mechanics of discipline, belief, and seizing control of your life. This discourse isn't just arbitrary pumping up. We're cutting right to the marrow of truth. Your day's first decision isn't just about leaving the embrace of your bed, it's an analogy for life itself. Let's rewind. Picture a younger me, where a mere $50,000 a year job was the ultimate dream. The concept of running $1 million enterprise would have been a joke back then. But there's a spark that ignites when you accept that the only architect of your destiny is you. It's that moment when the coziness of your bed beckons in the morning that can instead become a launchpad for growth. Every subsequent decision that day will be met with a tougher, disciplined you. Moving away from the concept of seeing is believing, let's flip that on its head. Without belief, there will be no carving new paths, no exploring uncharted territories. It's not until you start believing in your innermost aspirations that they begin to take form in reality. It's about walking, talking, and acting as if your goals are already in the palm of your hand, even if it makes others question your sanity. Here I was, at 19, with very little to my name, but by deciding not to drown in potential worries, by choosing to reach for the stars, I pivoted my fate. It's this shift in focus, looking beyond the issues at hand, steering away from floods of negativity that often overwhelms the media, that fosters happiness. It's your decision whether or not to bask in the downpour of problems or to seek solutions actively. This state of mind, where you acknowledge the possibilities around you, leads to a life that is daring and vivacious. The catch is, you have to believe you possess the means to succeed. Your brain then becomes your most ardent ally, tuning into opportunities you'd otherwise miss. The crux of my message? Imprint discipline firmly into your life. Don't accept the comfortable and risk-free. Truly embrace the concept that you can be, do, or have anything you desire. The belief should be so profound within you that, even in the depth of financial strain, you maintain an indomitable mindset, knowing deep down you have the power to shift your circumstances. This conviction requires an almost brute force of will to combat the moments of despair, convincing yourself that there's always a glimmer of hope on the horizon. It's this core strength that evolves, and eventually, discomfort doesn't just become tolerable, it becomes your norm. And to all the tenacious souls tuning in, if this message reverberates with you, take a second to subscribe, hit the like button, and ring that notification bell. Embrace this creed, and you'll start fashioning the very existence you've always envisioned. Now, let's up the ante. Imagine carving out a version of yourself that's bulletproof to the chaos of life. Someone who, when faced with hardship, refuses to buckle. Instead, they step into the arena, ready for combat. Acknowledge this potential, and the world unfurls before you, a canvas awaiting your bold strokes. Don't be seduced by false promises or letdowns. Blaze your own trail. Go chisel that athletic physique, pour your heart out to your loved one, kickstart that dream enterprise. Risk the leap, because the only guarantee in playing it safe is a ledger of regrets when you look back on your life. Grasp the reins tightly indeed. It's within your means to sculpt a life that resonates as a masterful masterpiece. Fearing failure is the true foil here. Shift the paradigm, be the master of your fate, the commander of your soul. And with that, my friends, don't just wait to witness your dreams to start believing. Embrace them now with unwavering faith, and the world will unveil itself in ways you could never have envisioned. Now I turn to you. What moves will you make from this moment on? Because let me tell you, the reel of life is always rolling, and to triumph, you must play the unwavering protagonist in your epic story.